Welcome back. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. I see that my camera is a little bit different than how it usually is. Let me just quickly fix that. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. Make sure you smash that like button if you just joined. Would appreciate that a lot. The reason that I'm live this early on today is because of the fact that I'm going to be viewing an apartment today 30 minutes after the market opens up. And so I'm going to have to attend that. And that is going to take some time. And it's going to be, I'm going to have to go right after the market opens up. I'm going to have to go bike all the way to that place. But it's only for today. I'm still going to be live until the market opens up. We have an hour. We're going to be discussing stocks, some indices, and right up until the market opens up, unfortunately. But still, we can do some technical analysis. We can do some market analysis. And I think we could still have a great time. But yeah, welcome back to Livestream. Good morning to everybody. Good afternoon. You guys also might see my hair right now. It looks a little bit different than how it usually looks like because I went to the barber, finally, today. And hopefully it looks good. Let me quickly turn off the power hour template. There we go. Alright, so welcome back to Lionel, Jin Lee, Rain Salzer, Amdi, Rai Guy Parker, Yan Long, Tank Oil, Lively, who do we have here? C-Teague, Julian, Whoops, James, Will, Empowering Physique, Luna, Paul, Clean, Brandon, Omar, Jude. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. All right, so I think today will be a bit of a day of, I would say, it's going to be the day of reckoning. Will this be another red day, or are we going to see a massive, absolutely massive rebound in the growth and tech stocks? I think there's a very high probability that we're going to see a significant rebound in the growth and tech stocks out there. And there's several reasons why I think that is going to be the case. And I would say the primary reason is because remember in February when growth and tech stocks were heading down. The main reason that growth and tech stocks were heading down was because the 10-year was going up. Remember, we had the 10-year skyrocket, right? So the 10-year went up massively. It actually started in January, but it didn't affect the market that much. But we had this significant rally. See if I can copy this right here. I think it's this bad boy. So you see these candles right here? This was the rise that we had in the 10-year yield. That rally, and that was since the beginning of February. This was the reason why the growth in tech stocks went down significantly, because when the 10-year rate goes up, it becomes increasingly difficult for these stocks to survive, because borrowing money becomes difficult. And it's not just for those small cap stocks, it's also for the normal people out there, small businesses, mid-sized businesses. They will suffer when this happens. Now, ever since that rally, it's been consolidating. And I've said this before. I thought it was going to consolidate and gradually move downwards. I didn't think it would go down this fast, but it went down rapidly. I don't know if you guys remember the headlines that were there back then. CNBC said that we would see the 2%. So that never happened. Well, guess what? Up until now, if you would have done the opposite of what CNBC and other media channels would have told you, you would have been incredibly green across the board. And so the 10-year right now is sitting at 1.17. What does this mean? It basically means this is it's a very supportive market right now for growth and tech, small caps, and especially given the fact that stocks are still sitting low relative to the highs that we had. Palantir down from 40. C3.ai down from the 180s. It's now sitting at 50. Take a look at what's happening with Snowflake. Snowflake is down from the all-time high of 400. Now sitting at 250. You can just look this up across the board, right? So there's a lot of growth in tech stocks that are sitting quite low EV stocks, tech stocks, small cap stocks. It's just, I think we're going to see a significant rebound here. The Russell is hitting a support level as well. So we hit a support level right here. You can see it right here. The 200-day moving average. We've hit this level several times in the past. This will be like, I think, the third or fourth time, probably the fourth time. And this has acted as support several times. We had oversold on the RSI. The Russell's down 10% from its all-time high. I think if this market, if the market is not going to correct big time, we should see a big rebound. I would say this would affect stocks like Tesla as well, because Tesla has a high multiple. Yet it's a big market cap stock, but you know, this is going to be the case for high multiple stocks. Companies that borrow lots of money, that have to pay an interest, or like an interest on a very high capital amount. Those stocks are going to be they're going to be benefiting a lot from the lower yield on the 10-year. Because that basically means that the rate is going to be lower. And so that is what I want to say right just from the get-go. I think we're going to see a significant rebound in growth and tech and small caps. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at the live chat, by the way. I'm going to let everybody know that we're live right now. And we don't have a whole lot of time, but we got enough time. We got enough time. Hold up. Good morning, Peru. Welcome back. Morning, Jay. Nice haircut. Thank you. Yeah, finally got that haircut going. Let me check AMC. AMC, my gosh, it's bouncing right now. Not quite going down yet. I think this does look like a reversal on AMC at this point. Still sitting at 36, though. Palantir is up 1.4%. Would you look at that? That was what we were expecting for Palantir. AI is in the green. I think it has not quite updated yet. Yeah, AI is up 1.1%, so it's also in the green. What's happening with big tech? We have Apple going up. Google sideways. Microsoft up slightly. Interesting. What's happening with recovery stocks? Looks like everything is kind of rebounding, isn't it? What's happening with NVIDIA? NVIDIA is down 74.8%. That was what we were expecting because there's a stock split going on. So NVIDIA is now sitting at 188.9. This is the stock split price. So yeah, it looks kind of strange. They're going to fix this very soon. They're going to update the charts. But yeah, NVIDIA now officially is going through this stock split. It's now sitting at a price of 188.9. I don't know what it's currently sitting at like in terms of price. So we have to do it times 4. So 189 times 4. Let me calculate that real quickly. I'm a little lazy today. 756. It's up. I think it's up almost a percentage point today. I think it's going to go down, though. I think it's going to probably go back down to around 170 over the course of the next weeks. I think it's still sitting quite high. So the expectation is that NVIDIA, because it was so hyped up, because of this massive rally that we saw for the stock split, it is still sitting way too high. So I'm expecting another 10% correction on NVIDIA over the course of the next weeks. All right. Hold up. Here we go. Recovery day. I mean, I think there's a high probability that we're going to see a big rebound on a lot of stocks out there, especially the stocks in this watch list. Let's see if the value stocks are heading up just slightly. Yeah, I'm seeing the Russell head up 0.4%. That's a very good thing, given that the majority of stocks out there are still sitting pretty low. 10 years now. Oh my gosh, look at that. The 10-year is going down very fast. It's now down 2.7%. So we have the 10-year going down 2.7%. That is pretty much the lowest point we have seen for the 10-year since February. Might we see it go back to the 1? To around 1? That would be amazing. It would be, I think it could be a little bit detrimental that, you know, liquidity is leaving the market. It's probably going to bonds right now. When the 10-year goes down, that basically means that, you know, bonds are going up. And the bond market is absolutely massive. And that's kind of an indication of people are getting into bonds at a crazy pace. And it is sort of inversely related to the stock market, right? So if bonds are going up, generally what happens is stocks go down. Like the overall indices go down. Not all the time, but it happens quite often. We expected a downturn for the S&P, and that happened. I think it's going to probably consolidate right around here, but it could get a little lower. I wouldn't necessarily say that it's going to recover right away. I think it's going to consolidate first. Yeah, NASDAQ looks like it's going to go lower as well. Interesting. The Russell right now is... Yeah, this does look like a dead cat bounce. Honestly, it does look like a dead cat bounce. So, potentially this is like a dead cat bounce. We'll see another drop. But I do think from Wednesday until Friday, we'll see some green days. But this is the time to be buying stocks cheap. To buy DIDI, CCIV, Palantir, C3.ai, Virgin Galactic, all of those are sitting at rather cheap levels. And so what people sometimes don't get is like, the idea is that you buy into a red candle and you sell into a green candle. Like you're buying low, then you're selling high. That's the idea. That's how it's always been. What some people think is, as it's going up, I'm going to buy, and then I'm going to sell as it keeps on going up. Well, good luck with that. That usually doesn't really work. I've tried that quite often. What tends to work best is to buy a stock when it's really low and to sell it when it's really high. And that has proven to be quite a good strategy. But yeah, some people don't like that idea. Everybody keeps saying that they want to buy the dip until the dip comes, and they don't buy the dip. My portfolio likes to split. Some people's portfolios have split just on the fact that the Russell went down and everything went down. CCIV is up 3.2%. Let's go. Do we get that parabolic rally? We need to have a stable market. If the market is stable here for the next 3 days, this is going to happen. It's going to shoot above 30. I would say 35, right? So 35 seems to be quite guaranteed. I think it could reach 35, 40 potentially. I think 40 is really high, though. That's like a market cap of 70 billion, I believe. 70 to 80 billion? If we have a stable market, I think we're going to hit 40. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be a massive surge. Gara Bitcoin at 29K. I think we're still going red, but thank goodness I'm finally super green. Hold up, there's a lot of noise in the background. Let me just quickly... Yeah, my little brother playing with his VR. This is fantastic. Yeah, I'm gonna be moving out in about 2 weeks, so it's gonna be great. We won't have background noise or anything like that in the foreseeable future, so it's gonna be great. Gara CCIV swing trade might be too risky. On the 22nd, CCIV is also voting for increasing the number of shares from 5 to 15 million. Do you think it's not 15 million? It's a billion. From, I think it's like 1.6 billion to 15 billion, I believe. No, wait, hold up. Do I have that right? Yeah, something like that. 1.6 billion to 15 billion. They're going to dilute the shareholders if it goes through. Yeah, so if the vote goes through, then I expect CCIV going back to like $10, because they're gonna dilute the shares. It's gonna be massive. The dilution is going to be insane, absolutely insane. So it's a very bad idea. If they do it, it would be. I think everybody's gonna hate Lucid Motors. That's what's gonna happen if they go through with that. AKA, they're gonna be like, hey, we're gonna dilute the stock by 10 times. Every single person that owns the stock is gonna hate the company. I think it would be a very bad idea. Very bad. That's not a rightful way of, in my opinion, that is not a rightful way of raising capital. That's like, I almost want to say it's a scam, because in some sense, you're diluting the shareholders by 10 times of the current share price. Ugh, that would be insane. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think that would be corporate suicide. That's just my opinion on that. I am counting on that doesn't go through. So I'm counting on that not going through. If it does go through, it's straight up going to go to like $5 or $10. It's going to be insane. The amount of shares they're going to sell. Whew. It better not get through. Let's just put it that way. It would be good for the company. It would just be very bad for the investors. It would be really bad for the investors. Oh, darn it. I don't have a lot of room to be sitting here. It's really annoying. Alright, let's see. Tesla's up 1%. We have NIO up 1.4%. We did say NIO was going to move to the 50s in the coming weeks. DIDI stock is up 2% today. Would you look at that? Surprise, surprise. DIDI stock is heading upwards. We have Palantir up 1.7%. We have AI up. Let me check. I don't think it shows it in the pre-market well. Hold up. AI is up 1.1%. That decision will be made by the Saudi wealth fund, who owns the majority of shares. If they do that, in my opinion, that would be the most scummy thing ever. I have to say, if they get that through, if they dilute the shareholders, so I'm gonna hold up. Let me just quickly grab paint. See if I can draw good on paint. No, I can't draw good on paint. How does Meet Kevin do this? Let me see. Right. Hold up. Let me share my screen on Paint. So the idea that I currently have, yes, we're looking at Paint here. So let's say, let's just. Is that a good color? Yeah, so let's just grab this color, right? So let's say CCIV has 1.6 billion. That's just so hard. They have 1.6 billion shares. If they dilute their shares, because their plan is that they're going to dilute the shares by roughly 10x. Oh gosh, I'm getting called right now by the... Hold up, one moment. All right, back. Yeah, I was briefly called. Wrong, very wrong timing. So let's say that CCIV has 1.6 billion in shares. What they want to do essentially, they want to add plus 13 billion in shares. So we don't know what the price is going to be of these shares, but it's going to dilute the original 1.6 billion. And keep in mind, this is the important part. This is what we are holding, us, right? So we're holding that 1.6 billion. This is retail investors, etc. Those shares, that's what we're holding. If they add 13 billion in shares, that is going to dilute the stock. I would say it's going to go down by, like, you could divide the stock by 5 or by 3 or somewhere in that range. So CCIV stock could be worth roughly, let's say, ooh, it's going to get really bloody if that happens, $4 a share. But, you know, if they sell that many shares in one go, this could mean that Lucid Motors is going to have a lot of capital. So it's not necessarily a bad thing for the company. It's just a bad thing for the investors out there. So let's say they get 13 billion extra shares. And they sell those shares at a price of $4 each. Let's say, hypothetically, they'll sell those shares at $4. That's probably not going to happen. That's a lot of capital that they're going to be getting from that. I could have also gotten this wrong, but this is the idea that they're kind of giving out. It's like, hey, we want to raise like tens of billions of dollars in one go, and we're going to dilute the shareholders. If I don't have this correct, let me know, right? So I don't cover CCIV 24/7. I also cover all other kind of stocks. But this is what I got so far from the deal. Called by the FFC. Hold up. I have no idea how they're going to do this. I have actually no idea. How can you add 13 billion in shares? Like, they're going to sell those shares at like 50 cents each. Like, there's no way they're going to sell those shares at $4. Like, there's not enough capital for that. Maybe they're going to sell part of it. That could also be the case. They sell part of the 13 billion, but they keep the rest of it. That's also a thing that could happen. But even then, you would still be diluting the shares by like huge amounts. I mean, CCIV's got to be a penny stock if that happens. Well, not a penny stock. They're going to be worth significantly less. Yeah, I will say, there is like a very tiny chance that they're going to do this. There's no freaking way they're going to do this to their investors. It would be the worst thing. Increasing Class A common stock from 400 million to 15 billion shares, and increasing Churchill's preferred stock from 1 million to 10 million. That is so scammy. It just sounds so wrong. It just sounds so incredibly wrong. Yeah, I'm going to say this is probably not going to happen. I would not be fearful of this. They're not going to do this. If they do it, I mean, I think they're going to have a lot of trouble if they do this. Lots of trouble. But yeah, in all honesty, I mean, looking at the technicals right now, looking pretty good. MACD's about to cross. RSI is heading up on the 4 hours. It does look like we could see CCIV go up maybe 5 to 10%. Maybe even more than that today. I'm currently looking at CCIV potentially going back to around $25. So hoping that that is going to be the case here. And then we'll see probably around 27, 28 tomorrow, maybe the 30s after that. And then on Friday itself, it could spike above 35. I think it's still possible. It's just going to be very difficult if the market just stays so volatile. I mean, we had seen what happened with the VIX. We're in quite volatile times right now. I mean, the market is just not having it at the moment. Hold up. Is DIDI stock going up again? Yeah, DIDI is still up 1.7%. If they're smart, they won't do it. I hope they won't do it. I mean, but you know, greed. There could be a lot of greed. They will make the shares available at, say, $20 a share. They will then sell them in parcels to raise capital to build the company. It makes sense. No. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because if you issue those shares, let's say we have Tesla. How many shares does Tesla have? Let me just check. Tesla amount of shares. Okay, so there are, this is from the past couple months, 963 million shares of Tesla. If Tesla tomorrow decided that they're going to add 10 billion shares to their float, what do you think is going to happen? Even if they're going to sell it, even if they're not going to sell every single, even if they're not going to sell today, even if they say we're going to sell it 1 year from now, the stock gets diluted a lot. So, yeah. They can't let this go through. Hold up. Stop comparing Tesla with CCIV because they're not alike at all. They're not in the same industry. They're not both electric vehicle companies. Peter Rawlinson literally worked at Tesla. Peter Rawlinson and his team worked at Tesla. You can compare Tesla and CCIV. Yeah, you can. There are some differences, but there's also a lot of similarities. Yeah, I definitely needed that haircut. Look at charge point. I mean, if they do it, it's gonna kill the stock. It's gonna kill the investors. I think they would do the investors a great disservice, honestly. Especially retail. It's like, it's a big middle finger to retail if this happens. It's a big middle finger to retail if they do this. Let's see. I wouldn't count on it happening. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen, but whatever. Technicals are looking good on the 4 hours. Looks pretty nice. Daily chart. I mean, it's not looking bad. I think we could still see a parabolic move over the course of the next days. And when it happens, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised. Is there a trend line here? Oh, there is. Interesting. You see that? That's coincidental. Yeah, there's a bit of a trend line. I like that. Last time it bounced off the trend line, it went up roughly 63% in a couple weeks' time. So we'll see what happens next. I think this would have to happen in the next couple days. So that would be the big difference here. All right. Tesla's still sitting at 652, not quite moving. I mean, I think Tesla is still sitting undervalued. I think earnings is going to be coming up. The stock is going to skyrocket. No, I don't think if that. I think if they dilute their shares, that'll be messed up. It would be very messed up. They'll have like class action lawsuits all over the place. Let's see. Li Auto. Neo, yeah, Neo's still up. XPeng's still up. There's not a whole lot of strength here, though. It really seems like it's just like a dead cat bounce. There's not a lot of strength, and you can see that right now. Look at the Russell. The Russell's already pulling back here. I mean, that is really weak. This is not what you want to see when there's like when there's a rebound. Although it is coming, I think right now we're seeing a bit of a tech cap bounce. Ask yourself this question: if the Saudis own the majority of shares and voting rights, and Lucid has privately agreed to vote on dilution, and now told the public about the vote, it's happening. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. If they would do this, oh my freaking gosh. I mean, where's that money going to go? Is it even going to go to Lucid Motors? Or are the Saudis just going to grab the money and just be like, whatever? Honestly, like, I have some doubts there. It's a risky thing. There won't be any losses because they told everyone publicly about it in advance. That's not how it works. That is not how it works. DIDI, for example, the company DIDI, they, before the IPO, they said, hey guys, you know, we might get some action here from the Chinese government, so be careful. Yeah, guess what's happening right now? There are several class action lawsuits against DIDI. I mean, I think it could definitely happen. They could get sued for this. I mean, it's like, oh, hey guys, we're gonna publicly tell you that we're gonna dilute your shares by 90%. That's just not okay. I think there's gonna be a lot of it's gonna get really messy. All companies dilute to expand. They're just doing it in one go, so when they need capital, they have quick access. It's no-brainer. I don't think it's very bullish. I think it would really kill the company. In terms of like the stock price and everything, it would really mess up the stock price. The current shareholders would get punished big time if that were to happen. Unless it's like locked up for the next 5 years or something. They need to have something to prevent them from selling all those shares. Because if these shares, they're going to be announced, are, if they can sell them, well, there's a problem, right? People are watching Blue Origin right now. Really? Is that live right now? Oh, is this... Hold up. What's that? Is that right now, or did it already happen? Oh, man. Yeah, I was a little bit busy. I'm looking right now. Let's see. Oh, it's happening right now. Oh, that's really cool. That is really cool. Oh, they're going to launch in about 14 minutes. Bezos is going today. Hold on, let me just show you the screen right now. Oh, they're already in there. That is insane. This is so cool. That's the 18-year-old. Yeah, so a Dutch 18-year-old is also coming with Bezos to space. So look at the images here. Let me see. That's the spaceship. And that's probably Bezos, the 18-year-old dude. And oh, they're in a Rivian truck. That is beautiful. That is a beautiful vehicle. That's so sick. I love how Jeff Bezos is wearing like this hat, just casually. Yeah, hold up. What's her name again? I think her name was Wally, right? They went to the spaceship. Now they're just hanging out. They're going to be going in about 10 minutes, I believe. That is interesting. All right, let's get back to stocks. It's very clever Rivian marketing. I agree with that. Let's see. Yeah, Virgin Galactic could lift off. Although right now it's selling off in the pre-market. Let me check. Yeah, it's actually selling off. Slightly going down now. C3 is doomed. All big holders are cashing out. It's actually not doomed. I think it's bullish. I think the fact that like that there's less people, there are less hedge funds and institutions that are in C3 increases the chance there's going to be more coming up in the future if they have a big catalyst. So I look at it this way. When we have a catalyst for C3.ai, there's a high probability that hedge funds and institutions are going to buy the stock because the stock is sitting so low, and also because there's a lot less people that are holding it, which is just a lot more float to be buying into. And the same thing we saw with Palantir, actually, when it was sitting at $7, $8. I think C3 is still looking promising. I think a lot of people are going to miss out on this one. Although I don't know how much it's going up right now. It's just you're gonna have to like have a mindset of no, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month. Over the course of the next months, there is going to be a recovery in C3.ai stock. Jeff copied Elon with the Tesla car, driving the Austrians to the launch pad. I think Jeff is copying a lot what Elon is doing. I mean, we had, I think Blue Origin came after SpaceX, right? We had Starlink. They're now trying to copy Starlink. They're copying Tesla with the EVs. Let's see, what are they copying? I think the Hyperloop, also copying that. I think it's also very unoriginal. Gara for AI, when there is such a low amount of institutions, they cannot dump the stock much for either. The only way it goes down is shorts. Yeah, they can short it downwards, but I think the short interest is already way up. It's not like AI is not being shorted. It's definitely being shorted right now. Let me check. I think there's a high short interest on AI right now. So you don't even have like the fact that there's a lot less institutional investors. There's also a high short interest. So if we see like a high a positive catalyst come in for C3, then that could potentially mean that C3 could it could pretty much skyrocket. Like we could see a short squeeze. Though I can't see the short interest anymore. Short percentage of the okay, so 8.9% of the float is shorted. That's a pretty high amount actually still. What's a short interest ratio? 1.6. Dollar volume sold short. Oh no, wait, hold. The short interest is a lot lower now, but it used to be a lot more. It used to be double. Gara Bezos, yeah, he's launching. Did they launch already or? I think they launched. Hold up. I want to see if the launch was looking interesting. Blue Origin live. All these ads. Oh my gosh. Nine more minutes. Yeah, they still haven't launched yet. They're like postponing it again. Darn it. Oh boy, I really hope it goes well though, because I think if this is successful, this could be a good thing for Virgin Galactic too. Oh boy. Yeah, I'll show you the space flight once they launch. So in about 8 minutes they're gonna launch. I want to see what's happening with Amazon stock. I mean, if something bad were to happen, it would, we would see Amazon stock just plummet like 10-20%, I think. I hope it doesn't. It's probably going to be successful, though. No doubt about that. Oh, yeah. Smash that like button for Blue Origin going to space. That's pretty awesome. I think it's just going to be... in terms of, like, for Amazon, it's just going to consolidate. I don't think a whole lot is going to happen. Maybe it will go up after the flight. So when they come back, that could definitely be the case. And, of course, if it's not successful, it would just plummet. But, yeah. 7 more minutes until they're going to launch Bezos into space. Ooh. I am a little nervous. DIDI stock up 1.5%. Seems like it's a dead cat bounce. Let's see what's happening with Tesla. It's not quite updating yet. Virgin Galactic is still down. BNGO is up a percentage point. Nano Dimension is finally heading up. There we go. Nano Dimension up 2% in the pre-market. Let's see. The Russell. Yeah, there we go. The Russell dead cat bounce. Here we go. Yeah, I said it. Very sus. Very suspicious. I mean, we've seen the same thing happen in the past, haven't we? No, we haven't. Oopsie. This is a bad thing. This seems like we're going to see more downside. It seems like what's going to happen is the same thing what we have seen here. Right here. So, dead cat bounce, drop. Dead cat bounce, drop. Dead cat bounce, drop. Yeah. We're probably looking at the 2020s. That would be insane. That's another 5%. It's another 5% to the downside, if that's the case. And this is happening as the Russell... I mean, relative to the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones and the S&P. I mean, the Russell is already down a whole lot. Just in recent times. I think it's very suspicious that it's moving differently to all the times that it bounced back. It moves way differently. Could be a dead cat bounce. But then again, I mean, if this would happen, it would still bounce heavily right after hitting the support, I think. I don't think this is going to be like a market crash or like a huge market correction, especially for the Russell. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. The 10-year is still falling. It is still falling. Look at that. Down 4.5% today. It's just going down back to back to back. Holy moly. Mother of all downturns on the 10-year. I mean, let's just put this into perspective. I mean, we've seen this happen before, right? So, happened in 2018 as well. Huge downturn in the 10-year. But I mean, it's sitting quite low. It looks like it's going to go lower. Although I think it might bounce very soon. Let's take a look. 3 more minutes. 3 more minutes until Bezos is going to space. I think once the Fed is going to raise the rates again, I think we're going to see a big spike. And I think stocks are going to go down a lot when that happens, right? When finally the Fed does raise rates. Li Auto still heading down. Let's see. Palantir only up a percentage point now. Selling off slightly. Yeah, it seems like we're going to just see stocks go down, I guess. Although DIDI is still up 1.7% in the pre-market. We also have... So it's just the growth stocks that are now starting to move lower. Let me check C3. Yeah, C3... No, C3 is not going down. Virgin Galactic is slightly down. I think what could be happening here with the Russell, because you have to think about it this way. In the Russell, you also have value stocks. Well, you have small cap value stocks. You have stocks that don't have high multiples. So there are stocks in the Russell that are small caps but don't have high multiples. So we could see the stocks that would be affected by COVID the most sell off in the Russell. That could mean that Palantir and C3 and everything else would remain rather stable, regardless of the market going down. So that's my hypothesis right now. I mean, because we're not seeing those stocks go down as significantly as the other stocks, right? The value stocks, the recovery stocks are going down a lot more now. The Fed won't raise rates until the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, I think. DIDI's up 1.8%. CCIV up 2.3%. Xbang still sideways. Li Auto. Interesting. 2 minutes before launch. 2 minutes before takeoff. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. 1 minute before launch. Let me share it at my screen here.
All right,
42 seconds.
Here we go, everybody. Thousands of people contributed years to this historic moment. Ladies and gentlemen,
To get Jeff
it's time
Bezos
for
to
Blue
space.
Origin's first human flight. Godspeed, first crew of New Shepard. Let's light this candle.
It's a green candle. Let's get this bad boy to space.
T-minus 16, guidance internal. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Command engine start. 2, 1.
Oh my god.
We got liftoff.
Holy moly. The first... No wait, the second billionaire going to space.
And New Shepard has cleared the tower on her way to space with
There
our
we go.
first human crew. Go, Jeff. Go, Mark. Go, Wally. Go, Oliver. You are going to space.
They're going to space indeed. Holy moly, this is just insane. Imagine being in a rocket like that. That's just scary. It's like you would constantly be thinking, oh my god, what if it explodes? What if it explodes? That is amazing.
Oh my goodness, listen to the roar of the BE3 engine. We are just about to pass through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. That was when the stresses on the vehicle are at their maximum.
Max Q.
Such a different
Max
rocket
Q
to what we
is
saw with
confirmed.
Virgin Galactic.
Beautiful
I think
burn
Virgin
on that
Galactic would never
BE3
know.
engine. Liquid
30,000
hydrogen
feet. Mach 1.
and liquid oxygen as the propellant. It's a nice, not just clean in terms of beautifully performing, but what comes out of it, it's steam, right? Whew. To see the glow of
What's
the,
happening
of
with
the
Amazon
engine
stock? Let me
underneath
check.
the rocket just under our shoulders, and to know that we've got a crew that is going to space, it just feels different, doesn't it, Gary?
It is totally different.
Oh boy.
All right, you can follow along, of course, the speedometer in the bottom left, the altimeter in the middle of the screen there.
It's going really
So far
fast.
appears to be a nominal flight. All right, coming up here on Miko, main engine cutoff. That will be followed shortly
Holy
by
moly.
separation. And at that point, after separation, we're going to let the astronauts unbuckle and take in the freedoms of zero-G. There is Miko, main engine cutoff. A beautiful shot
Across the
down the
sound
New
barrier.
Shepard rocket. Look at that view.
Wow. Imagine sending your 18-year-old to
Unreal.
space. There's a Dutch
Awaiting
there's a Dutch
separation
person
here.
in that spaceship, in the rocket. Velocity's going down. It's not good. Huh? What?
And here we are. You can start to see. Stand by. You're going to see the separation of the capsule from the booster itself.
They're going to catch the booster. Let me check the live chat here. Hold up. Hold up.
Woo! Oh, wow.
Zero G.
Forget to look out the window. Holy kid God. Oh, wow.
They're tripping. They're having a good time. I can definitely hear that. We have a $5 donation for Masras. We'll look at that in a moment.
And there we go. Our astronauts have passed the Kármán line at about 328,000 feet, continuing their ascent. You see the two vehicles there.
Wow.
When the speed hits zero, you know that they've hit apogee, their maximum altitude, and you hear they're having quite an experience.
Yeah, that kid is having fun up there.
Woohoo! Yep. Got it. You just have to wait for it. Who wants the Skittle? Oh, yeah.
How long are they going to be there? Re-entry is coming up soon.
Yeah! Well done! Here, toss it.
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
Go! Oh, sorry. It's very good. Awesome. So good.
I love that we can hear them. That is just great. That is just great.
Let's see if I can see the boost. Yeah.
It's just fantastic.
I cannot.
Virgin Galactic going down right now, though.
Okay, get in. We gotta get in.
They're coming back. Oh, I think the booster's coming back.
Oh, fantastic. Look at this. It's dark up here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Wally, I think I heard her voice there.
2,000 miles an hour.
Everybody in?
First status check.
That is so cool.
Astronaut Oliver.
Oh, wow.
Let's go more.
Oliver, status check. Oh, sorry. Blue Control, Oliver, status perfect. INSEE.
I want more. Did somebody
Copy,
just say that? I think that was Wally, right?
Wally. Blue Control, Wally is INSEE.
Copy, astronaut demo.
Astronaut demo, right by.
Copy, astronaut Bezos.
Alright, this is going to be a difficult thing here. They're going to have to land this bad boy. I don't know if they're still in space or whether... I think they're not in space right now. They're actually coming back. I hope so. Or is it just a booster? I have
Copy.
no idea. I think think they could land this bad boy real quick. Booster altitude, 10,000 feet. It is coming back home.
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us live for our first UN flight on New Shepard. So far, a nominal flight. Our booster is about to return to its landing pad. There we see engine relights.
All right.
The sonic boom.
Okay. Land. Land, goddammit. That is so cool. That is like from the sci-fi movies.
And booster touchdown. Welcome back, New Shepard. A beautiful rocket that provided a beautiful flight to space.
But that's the yeah. So the booster landed, but they're still in space, right? Or are they landing right now? Oh yeah, there we go.
Blue Control Bezos, that's great to hear about the booster.
Right, so that should be rather easy, right? So they're going to use the parachute.
And there it is, our crew capsule with our 4 crew members on board.
You have a very happy crew up here, I want you to know.
Very happy crew. That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they went for a couple minutes, right? They can't stay for long.
I see the big
Maybe in the future that would be really cool.
Stand by drogues. Stand by drogues.
Oh boy.
Stand by main. Stand by main.
They're dropping really darn fast.
Oh, so far, a nominal flight. Here comes the crew capsule back from space. The drogues deployed. Here are the mains out.
Where are they going to land,
reefing
though?
and coming to full inflation. Our rocket went over Mach 3, and now they're coming floating back down at just about 15 or 16 miles an hour.
That's
about
insane.
to join us home. Back here in West Texas after having gone over the Kármán line, the internationally recognized line of space. The world's newest astronauts. Gary, how you holding up, friend?
I am speechless.
Wow. And those
That
big,
is so
beautiful
cool.
windows.
I've just got
I wanna
about
go
a
to
minute
space.
and a half of floating before the activation of the skirt jet for a soft touchdown.
I guess Branson did
At
beat
this
him.
point,
to it.
there are sensors on
First
board
billionaire
that
to
are
space.
detecting how high they are above the ground. Multiple sensors.
Now Bezos the second
just
billionaire to
6
space.
feet above the ground. That
And
cushion
they're about to
there
land.
will
Just a couple hundred
puff,
meters.
and they will have a soft
Even less than that,
touchdown,
actually,
almost
right now. Like
just
100
sitting
meters
in a
now
chair.
above the surface.
But I'm sure their adrenaline is pumping.
No freaking way. They freaking did it. I think not a whole lot can go wrong here. I mean, that's a drone. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Are there more drones?
And touchdown.
Touchdown.
Welcome back, New Shepard's first human crew. What?
That is insane.
What a
Welcome
flight.
back to Earth First Step. Congratulations to all of you.
Ah,
All right, that was enough.
A day, what a day.
Let's put it on pause. Let's get back to the stock charts. I'm just going to quickly, briefly take a look at stocks. Bezos went to space. Hooray, that's pretty cool. I think hopefully down the road we can all go to space at an affordable price. That will probably come down the road. Give it 50 years. All right, so let's see. What's happening here with stocks? The indices. Russell seems like it's a dead cat bounce. Looks like it's going to pull back further today. The Nasdaq is now red, and it looks like the Nasdaq is going to pull back further too. And the same thing is probably happening for the S&P. Yeah, so we're seeing that across the board right now. Let's check the Dow. Dow is actually heading up slightly because it probably did. It went down the most yesterday. So yeah, it was rather bumpy. I think we received a donation. Let me quickly answer that one. CCIV emerged Friday. Wouldn't the stock drip on Friday? If so, I think it could possibly shoot on Friday as well, and then drop right after until the end of the day. That could be the case. Or either on Friday it goes up a lot, and then on Monday it drops. One of the two things can happen there. Yeah. Anyway, guys, gals, I'm going to be going now. Like I've said before on the Discord and on the YouTube, today I'm going to go to an apartment. I'm going to view the apartment, and I'm possibly going to be moving there in about 2 weeks. So I'm going to have to do that. I have to be there in about 35 minutes, so I don't have a lot of time. But I thought, let's do the live stream. Let's get it going. Let's talk about some stocks. Let's talk about the markets. I think overall today could be a little bit negative. I think starting tomorrow and especially Thursday and Friday, I think we're going to see a lot more green. I will be live again today. I'll be live in about, let's say 4 hours, roughly 4 hours from now. About 3 hours before the market closes, I'm going to have an extra long live stream. So make sure you tune in for that live stream, because then the market is going to be open. And we'll be covering your favorite stocks, the indices, assets, Bitcoin, cryptos, etc. So thanks for watching. Sorry for cutting it short, but I'll be back very soon in a couple hours. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Hit that notification button. Hit the like button. Check the Discord, Instagram, the Twitter. All the links are in the description. And I'll be back very, very soon. So cheers, everybody. Have a good time. Yeah, the market's going to be opening up in about 5 minutes, but I really have to go now. So I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. And I'll see you in a couple hours.